Hello and welcome to the Tanner Nelson Show. The big win this past week over Plainview, 28-14. I'm the Howie Channey along with QB1 Randall Cunningham, and of course, the man of the hour. Actually, be 30 minutes today, but anyway, Coach Tanner Nelson. Coach Nelson, congratulations on the big win this week.
Thank you. It was definitely a big win for us. Started out a little bit slow, and they played very well, but kind of got it together in the second half and was able to make some plays down the stretch to come out with a big win.
Yeah, it's a big win for you. Anytime you get a win, like we was talking about off the air there, anytime you get a win over Plainview, your rival, it's always great.
Yeah, it was. Everybody kind of came together. It was a big deal for the players, big rival for community and everybody. I think overall everybody's happy to get a big win against a very good football team.
So let's go into the game a little bit. Going into the game, wasn't sure what the weather's going to be like. End up with a lot of rain there, misting rain there in the first half. Did that affect any of your play calling?
Well, it has to because we can't air it out and we can't do some stuff that we may have wanted to do, but we planned for the rain, and that's what we told the guys all week to be prepared for the rain, and if it don't rain, then so be it. But I thought the guys handled it well, and we overall made several plays late and able to win the football game.
Yeah, opening kickoff. You received the opening kickoff there, and on the opening kickoff, John Sills, I'm sorry I let you down, but we had a penalty on the play because coaches in the box and players in the box, and so me taking your place as a get back coach didn't go too well. But anyway, kind of straightened that out after we realized that there's going to be real strict on it. But other than that, still having a few penalties, coach, as far as uh, you know penalties going on. And so what are y'all doing to work on this?
Well, it's something we've worked on all year. We've a couple of them are just being too aggressive and uh, kind of after the play stuff, and some of we had a couple pass interferences, but overall, that's like we talked about the past couple weeks. It goes back to small details, and we just got to continue to work and continue to be better. And in games like we got Friday, we can't have these penalties and expect to win because they're not going to make any mistakes. So if we're out here making mistakes Friday, and then against a very good football team, they're it usually don't end well. So that's what our message has been all week. We can't after the whistle. We can't have no penalties, and we just have to play in between the whistle, and we're in coverage. We just have to do what we're coached to do. And offense, we can't be lazy up front. We have to run our feet. We have to block. We can't have holds, and we've had a good week, and we just have to continue to work and clean all that up Friday, and so that's been our message all week. Continue to work, continue to get better, and really focus on the small details.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the right terminology I want to use, but the mental mistakes that y'all were making, and trying to get better at that. Um, Defense played lights out again. The front line of the defense is playing extremely well this year, coach, and you got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, we're extremely pleased with how they played so far, but we still have a long way to go. And had a couple busted plays, and they got behind us for a big touchdown there in the first half, and had a few mishaps in the second half where they was able to make some stuff happen, and we just have to continue to work and continue to clean all that stuff up. But overall, uh, kind of pleased where they're at, but there's still a long way to go. So, that's been our message to them. If you're happy how the season went so far, and if you're fine with just 4-1, then so be it. But we still have a lot of wins that we still want to get, and we still have a long way to go. So, still have to improve, and it's another big week, and kind of a tough stretch here, but a very big week. Everybody knows what Fife's done in the past. So, there ain't no point to we ain't got to talk about all that. So, but overall, what we're getting, a very physical football team. So it's going to be, hopefully we guys just have to it's every play this week. You can't take a play off. You can't have bad habits. You can't have a miss a line. You can't do all that kind of stuff and have a chance to win a football game like Friday. So they've had a very good week, and I feel like we got a good game plan. We just got to go execute.
Randy, Coach Nelson 4-1 on the season and 4-1 in his head coaching career, going against a Hall of Famer and everything this coming week. Coach Paul Benefield, DeKalb County, and a Alabama Hall of Famer with 300 plus wins. So it's the I don't want to say the rookie, but it's the new guy in DeKalb County against the old guy in DeKalb County. Randy.
Coach, I was going to ask you kind of a similar question with, I always asked your predecessor same thing. In 2 weeks, you're going to face coaches with 600 wins. That challenges you as a young coach, and it's a challenge you got to be excited for.
Yeah, it's always fun to play coach against these guys who've done it and won like they have. That just really lights that fire more and makes you work harder and do all that kind of stuff. But at 7 o'clock on Friday night, it's about these guys. So that's kind of we work hard throughout the week, and coaches, we have these guys ready, and at 7 o'clock, I mean, it's really for them to go out and play, and all this other stuff is really about them. So we just have to have the guys ready, and Coach Pruitt last week and Coach Benefield this week, they're going to have their guys ready, and they're going to do what they're supposed to be doing. So we got to go out and make plays. It's every play, and it's everybody doing what they're doing every single time the ball snapped, and and you'll be able to see it the first time somebody is not where they're supposed to be, or doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they'll have a big play, or what a big play on defense, whatever that looks like. So we just have to have these guys ready, and I think these coaches have done a great job. We've had a busy week so far, but these guys have done a great job, and we still have a couple of days here to get a couple of things kind of cleaned up and fixed, and hopefully we'll have all that ready to go come Friday.
Coach, I want to jump back to Plainview for just a second. And I want to ask you about the management of the weather conditions. Is that something you do, or does the principal take the lead on that in deciding whether you're going to play Friday, Thursday, Saturday? Is that something you have to be actively involved in, or is that more at the athletic director level?
Well, I mean, I think it's everybody's kind of involved in it, all the everybody and the coaches and principals and everybody kind of working together and coming with the best plan to to have the best conditions. And there's a couple of different things kind of that goes into you really don't want to play on Saturday, because then that cuts into your next week, kind of getting ready to play that next Friday. So you want to keep it all on Friday, unless something crazy happens and you had to move to Thursday. And several teams have played on Thursday just for kind of your non-region, just in case it does rain, then you can bump it back and all that kind of stuff. But there's several different people kind of behind the scenes trying to work and make sure it's the best situation to allow all the players to the best situation. Hopefully rainy and stuff, and there's chance of injuries and all that kind of stuff anytime you have the rain involved. But overall, I think both teams came out pretty well Friday, and so that's the best we can ask for.
Coach, can you make that decision too early till you see what the conditions are like on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I think Wednesday morning is about the time where if you're going to move a game, it's got to be Wednesday morning, because you got to be getting stuff ready, and you got to get buses, and you got to do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So Wednesday morning has kind of been the rule. Kind of everybody you talk to, kind of Wednesday morning is when you got to be one way or the other, and you either got to let it ride or you got to be moving it. So hopefully, future if we have that, and it's probably got to be by Wednesday morning that we have to. Sometimes if you pull the trigger too early, and then you never know what the weather's going to do. So sometimes you just got to use your best judgment. And if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. So there's always all that going on. But overall, I was very pleased, and it was rainy to start the really first half, and it kind of got better there in the second half. But I was just very pleased. None of the players made excuses, and they continued to play hard and continue to, we knew they was going to be wet conditions, and they just played every snap and really continued to fight. And we got the second half, and it dried up a little bit, and was able to make plays down the stretch.
Absolutely. And we were one of the few schools in Chattanooga that played on Friday. Most everybody chose to move it, but we experienced good weather. Just must hit the right window to have good weather. Howie, jump back to you after this question. Coach, these kids have grown up playing five. They play five every year. Does it change in their mind or your mind that it's now a region game? How does that affect the thinking?
Well, I mean, we prepare every week. We never try to look ahead, and we always focus on the opponent at hand. So, I mean, from that aspect of it, I mean, nothing's really changed. I mean, we just have to do what we do throughout the week, and we don't. Once we get in the season, and if Sunday's the same as Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, so none of that's really different. Some of the that's what I tell the guys. I mean, you can't make it too big. I mean, you have to focus on what's at hand and doing what your assignment is. If you're worried about somebody else or worried about this over here, I mean, that's all that outside noise, and that's when all this kind of stuff starts creeping in, and we'll have mistakes happen and this and that. But we just have to control what we can control, and be ready to make plays when there's plays to be made. And coaches continue to work hard, and just have these guys in the best position come Friday, and that's all we can do. And then at 7:00, it's kind of just we have to go out there, and it's one of the things where it's time to play them, and there ain't no all your work is really done at 7:00 other than just playing the game.
Howie, we stood on the sideline last year for this game. It was a physical battle, and it always will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, that's anytime you play five. Coach kind of hit on it a little bit. You know what you're going to get when you play five. They're coming straight at you. There's no ands, if or buts about it. The only difference that you're going to see from play to play is blocking schemes. And so, Coach, how do you manage that?
Well, I mean, you know what you're going to get. Like you said, I mean, it's just you have to be better than whoever's lined up in front of you, and you can't take plays off, and you have to continue to work and continue to just improve throughout the game. And you're almost got to be better in fourth quarter than you are in the first, if that makes any sense, because that's kind of how they treat it. I mean, it's no plays off. I mean, that first time you take a play off, it's a big play. So, these guys, they've played five. They've played these guys and been around these guys, and they're buddies with all these guys. But 7:00 is Sylvania versus five, and all this other stuff is just, we'll have to block that out, and we need to go out and have a good 2.5 hours and play every snap, and hopefully good things will happen if we execute and do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it will come down to a fourth quarter game. I feel like the last several games that Sylvania 5 has played has came down to a fourth quarter game. And that's something that Coach Benefield, as you know very well, takes pride in, is he wants to be better than you going into the fourth quarter. He's going to pound on you until he tries to wear you down in the fourth quarter. But that's something that Sylvania tries to do as well, Coach.
Yeah, we think we're a physical team, and they're a physical team. So, it's one of them things where, I mean, it's a 4-quarter game, and whoever kind of out toughs the other team may win the game, but overall, I mean, it just goes back to, it starts up front, both sides of the ball, and you just got to be better than that guy lined up in front of you because, it's physical. I mean, we'll have blood, and it's going to be one of them type games where it's going to be physical game, and there's blood and all that kind of stuff. But we just have to be ready, and these guys have had a really good 2 days. But come Friday at 7:00, we're going to kick it off, and hopefully we're prepared.
This could be a game where all 22 players could be within 5 yards of the ball. That's something you don't really see very often because everybody knows what's coming. It's just going to be straight ahead running by both teams. And, I was on a radio show earlier this week, and they was asking me about it, and I said, whoever makes the least mental mistakes could win this game or should win this game. So that's something that, let's see. Michael Dunn. Let's defeat the Red Kingdom Friday. Sylvania believes in the Green Machine. So, Coach, how do you, I kind of asked you the question a while ago, but how do you prepare your team for that type of formation? All 11 guys for 5, right? Just within a few feet of the ball there.
Well, I mean, your eyes have got to stay where you're supposed to be because once everybody's eyes go in the backfield, then they're going to slip them 3 receivers out, and it's a touchdown. So, you have to do what you're coached to do, be where you're supposed to be. So everybody's got to be what we coach them to do. Where's your eyes going to be, who you're supposed to be reading, and all that kind of stuff. And if we do that, we'll have a good night. But if not, if we're worried about something going on, or if our read is a tight end and we're looking in the backfield, so that's when they have big plays just because that, they rock you to sleep, run the ball, then they throw it over your head. So we have to be prepared and really continue to improve on what we've already done this week. And, these guys, they've really worked hard, and, it's kind of strong man versus strong man in there. And we just, hopefully we have to come out and, just be better on that play. And then you got to flip a switch and you got to go get ready for the next play. But overall, I mean, they're going to put everybody in there, and we just have to do what we're coached to do. And if we do that, then good things hopefully will happen.
Yeah, Randy, I'm coming to you on this. I'm going to make a comment. Randy knows very well about the tight end slipping out, getting behind the defense again with a 5 team because Coach Benefield just burnt him on one of the interviews we did with him back a few years ago. And so, Randy, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, Coach. He, I asked Coach how he could have an all-state tight end and only throw him 17 passes all year, and he corrected me and said 14 of those was touchdowns, and thought the object of the game was to score touchdowns. He didn't know what I thought it was, but he said he only threw touchdowns. So it was a nice moment, Coach Benefield.
Well, it usually is a touchdown whenever they throw. So, and that's what we can't have this week. We have to cover them guys and keep them from scoring. So that's the plan, and that's what we're working on. And so we'll see what happens Friday.
Coach, and I think you do this well, and credit to your predecessor. I thought they did it well. I think Coach Benefield does it well. People talk about the simplicity of the offense, but there's so many different ways to block the same run. Is that part of keeping your eyes, keeping your discipline to make the correct read?
It is. I mean, you gotta just focus on what you're supposed to be focused on, and you can't be focused on what this other guy's focused on, because if different fronts and pull in and all that, I mean, they do a great job, and we just have to be dialed in on what we're coached to do, because the first time we're in the wrong spot or our eyes are in the wrong place, that's when it's a busted play. And so as a safety or as a corner, or it gets kind of boring, because you ain't get a lot of action, then all of a sudden that guy's behind you for 65-yard touchdown, and you've stopped them and stopped them and stopped them, and then it's a touchdown just on that one play of not doing what you're coached to do. So all that kind of stuff, and kind of goes into it, and we just have to be prepared for that, and you make it simple enough, but you can't you just have to be, your eyes have to be on that guy. So when he releases, you're there. So we've worked on it, and we just have another day or two to improve on it and clean some stuff up and be ready to go.
I'll come back to you, and we can let Coach get out of here. I know he's got some pressing needs tonight, but Coach, you played a very physical game last week, and you got a physical game this week. Do you make an effort as a staff to get some time off the feet, get the legs back under you, or is it just business as usual?
Well, I mean, we have some, we got some rehab and therapy and all that kind of stuff and stretching and all that, but it's kind of just your normal week. I mean, we can't stray too far from what our normal routine is, and that's when you lose focus and all that kind of stuff. But we're in that normal routine, and so we have to block all this outside noise out, and we can't be worried about what so and so saying over here. But we just have to do what we're coached to do, and if we do that, then we should have a good night. And if not, then we're worried about what somebody's saying or whatever this other stuff is. And that's when you make these mental mistakes, and that's when you give a big play or you're not where you're supposed to be just because of this outside type stuff. But we just have to continue to work in another day or two. And then Friday, I mean, Five's been doing this stuff, this offense and defense and all this kind of stuff. But, you really have 1 week to work on something they've been doing for all these years. So that makes it kind of difficult, but we just have to, coming off last week, and we had to flip the switch Saturday, and we had to really dive into the game planning and working on them. And so, that's what makes it difficult, but that's what it is. But, so like you said, we're just in a normal routine, and we just have to continue these next 2 days of improving on what we've already done this week.
Yes,
Coach,
sir.
I'm sorry, Randy. Coach, everybody talks about Fife's offense, putting up a lot of points. They take pride, Coach Benefield, and Coach Benefield pretty well also. He takes pride on the defensive side. How do you try to game plan against his defense?
Well, their defense is really, really good, and they're going to hit you and hit you and hit you. And, that makes the blocks up front hard because they stay low and stay pad level. And, secondary is good. They got a lot of good guys over there. So it's one of them type games where, you may not be able to, it may be you run it first, second, and third, and you punt it down there to them. So, you just can't try to do too much. You got to take what they give you. And, if you try to rush things, and that's when things happen and turnovers and all that kind of stuff. So you just got to take what they give you, and you got to stay calm and do all that kind of stuff, because they're very, very good on defense, and they're not going to make many mistakes. So we just have to, if we have a chance to have a big play or have something happen, we have to execute on that play. So it's one of them type games where it's, that you want to say it's a low scoring game just because of, both defenses are pretty good, I think. So we just have to, if they give us opportunity to have success, we have to be able to take it.
Absolutely, Coach. We're going to let you get out here. You got things that you need to take care of tonight. So you got any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here?
Well, we just need everybody to come out Friday and be loud. I mean, we need a very good crowd. They're gonna have a good crowd. A big region game, and we just need everybody there and everybody loud. And hopefully, this work we put in, we're able to have success with it and do some things. But we'll let all that kind of talk Friday at 7. I mean, we can't worry about all this, just talk. We have to have action with it, and that's what our message to the guys been all week. We just have to continue to improve on what we've already done and not have all these minimal mistakes that we've had the past week or two, and clean all that up, and hopefully play a clean game and give ourselves a chance, late in fourth quarter to a chance to win the game. And that's kind of all we can ask for.
Absolutely. Coach, I've been giving shout outs here lately, and I want to give shout outs to the bus drivers that's taking you to the game, back and forth to the games. Without them, it'd be difficult to get all 40-something players there and coaches and all that. And give a shout out to the bus drivers, David King. And I don't know the other bus driver's name. I asked John about it, and he said, well, I just call him Pawpaw. So shout out to David King and Pawpaw for being the bus drivers, getting you to and from the games. And give a shout out to John Seals for complimenting us being the 3 sexiest guys on the podcast tonight. So we appreciate that, John. And
it was ugly.
Yeah, well, I knew what he really meant. So anyway, Coach, do like Coach said, everybody that's out there listening, watching, get out Friday night to the game, be there a little bit early, encourage the guys, cheer for them, and expect a really good game, because I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but there's a lot of games left. But this could be the one that gets the winner of this game could end up being the region champ. And so go out and support this team here, and let's root them on to victory. And Coach, you got anything you want to finish up with?
No, just we're excited to come Friday and excited to have another opportunity to play and against a very good football team, very well coached. So it's one of them type things. We just look forward to the opportunity to play, Fife and everything they've accomplished up to this point this season. So we're just excited to come Friday and excited for another just to be able to play against a very good football team. And 7:00 we'll kick it off, and hopefully we make enough plays to pull out this win, and so that's kind of where our mindset's at, and we just have to continue to improve and focus on the small details, and can't have all those minimal mistakes and do all that kind of stuff. But we're just excited that we have another chance to improve on the past couple of weeks, to improve on some stuff and get all that stuff cleaned up.
Randy, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'm ready to go play, Coach. If you need a 58-year-old fat guy, give me a yell.
We will.
All right.
For Coach Tanner Nelson, Randy Cunningham, I'm the Howie Channey. Go out and support the team Friday night. Good luck, Rams.
Go Rams.